everyone. Welcome to Herren Project Live. I am your host, Kevin Michaelazik. Thank you all for tuning in tonight. I am really excited about this evening's show. We have a great group of people from Charlton Middle School out near Worcester. And also we have William Morrissey, also known as Big Cass, professional wrestler. Couple quick things. Yesterday marked Herren Project's 10-year anniversary. And I just want to take this moment to personally thank each and every one of you out there that has supported us, that has believed in us, that has trusted in us. Everyone from donors to people we've helped. Along the last 10 years, we've been able to help thousands and thousands of individuals and families and students all across this country. And it really is a blessing to be part of this. It's something that gives me so much pride and gratitude to just be a small part of this, and to know what we've built together has impacted thousands and thousands of families all across the country. And the next 10 years look even brighter. We are poised to grow and to be a leader in this field and to really make an impact in the next 10 years. We've invested in staffing, we've invested in technology to be able to better serve people, and we are hitting at all cylinders. We are serving more people than we ever have before, and we are actually absolutely going to crush it the next 10 years. And I want to take a moment to thank everyone that works at Herren Project for their dedication, for their willingness to step in and serve others in their most difficult time of need. And I also want to thank Chris and Heather Herren for having the bravery to step out and tell their story and also start Herren Project 10 years ago. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you, thank you, thank you. We could not have come this far without you, and we won't go any further. I don't know what I was saying there, but I kind of lost it. This is live, just in case you were wondering. So I do make mistakes, but you guys are the best. I love you all. So first up, we have Mike Daley, we have Calista, and we have Brittany Murphy from Charlton, Massachusetts. So we're going to bring them in and welcome them in. Hi, guys.
Hello.
Thanks for having us, Kevin.
No problem. Thank you all for being here. And Calista, you are an absolute rock star. I want to congratulate you for being the winner of the PSA contest that we had for Wellness Week with Herren.
Thank you.
I want to take a brief moment just to show everyone how inspiring you were and how brave you were. Is that okay?
Yes.
All right, I'll play it.
I'm here with my dog, Tilly, and she's tired out from a walk. But I'm talking about wellness. What wellness means to me is, first off, starting out, like right when you wake up, you have a nice mindset. You want to be all set, ready for the day, thinking you can do this. I also think that it is like health. It's like getting exercise or eating like vegetables and fruits, eating good, and drinking a lot of water, because water makes your body better. I also think that it means is like having a good attitude. Like if there's negativity around us, then be the positive one. Thank you for watching. Bye.
All right. Calista, that was awesome. And
Thank you.
your bravery, I love it. Be the positive one. I think that's a message that all of us can learn from and aspire to be the positive one. It's so easy to be negative.
Yeah.
So you are in the 5th grade, right?
Yes.
And you are part of the newly formed Herren Project Club. So can you tell us a little bit about kind of why you wanted to join Herren Project Club?
I just felt like that maybe I could use a club during this time, like just get my mindset off everything, and so that I have something to do, because most people, they aren't doing a lot of things at this time. So maybe they should try new things. And I just thought that it would be better here, and it is. This is an awesome club.
That is so cool. And do you like Zoom school better, or do you like in-person school better?
I think I like in person because I like to do hands-on activities. I don't like to stare at a computer all day.
It's too hard, right?
Yeah.
And then plus you don't see all your friends and get to have recess.
Mm-hmm.
They still do recess?
No, not at us. It's 5th through 8th, so we treat them like, older kids. They get in 4th grade, though.
Calista, I think you should revolt and demand this. I think you are very capable of starting a petition and demanding that they bring recess back.
Thank you.
That's our next project.
I don't think our principal wants to hear that, though. Not enough time in the day.
They need to play, the kids.
I know.
Yeah.
So, Mike, you and Brittany, thank you guys so much for, stepping out in a leadership role and starting a Herren Project Club in the middle of a pandemic. I know it, hasn't been easy. You've had to adapt and kind of do it virtually. Mike, I'll start with you. Can you kind of talk about what led you to want to start one?
So last year I wanted to do one, and then the pandemic hit, and it was just, we never got off the ground. So when Brittany started this year, we had talked about getting something going again, and she was on board because she had heard of the Herren Club before, and it just clicked. So we decided at that point, we wanted to form a club, and our first meeting was in January, and we wanted to plan the wellness week for March. So that was our goal. And so we threw it out virtually because it's hard. We can't, meet with the kids. Normally in a normal school year, we'd calm down the auditorium. I would have shown them the first day or something like that, get people fired up for it. And we just kind of just put a blast out through email. And we got a good response initially, but we have about 15 solid students that are there every week. And it's a student-driven club. We want it to be a student-driven club. And they do an unbelievable job, our kids. They're so caring. And they want to change the, make the school community a better place. And we're using this forum to do it. So we ended up getting, the PTO was awesome. They gave us a big chunk of change to get it started. We made, we made those sweet T-shirts. Mr. Bolio at our school, who makes T-shirts, made those. And we ended up getting some prizes for the gifts for the wellness week. And so the PTO was great. And we were off and running at that point. So, but we have a great, strong, young foundation of kids that want to carry it on the whole time at Charlton Middle and maybe even beyond in high school.
That is so awesome. Brittany, can you talk a little bit about what kind of made Herren Project Clubs attractive to you?
Yeah, so I myself have personally been affected by family members and close personal friends that have struggled with substance abuse disorder. So this club really hits home for me. And the fact that it starts so young in middle school and they can carry it out through high school, I think is huge, because I think that the younger these kids can kind of get that message of making healthy choices, having a group that they can come to be themselves is huge. So I think that was really what drew me to this group. And the fact that we can be advisors and be mentors for those kids is huge too.
And I'm sure Mike and Brittany, you both can speak to this. The need for this right now is so great. I think
absolutely. 100%. And we used to bring in guest speakers, Kevin, and they would always talk about in the First Day movie. I love the message because Chris talks about, they didn't start out like this. They were once shortstops, soccer players. And every speaker that I used to have come in would talk about, they'd show pictures of, and it would be like a scare tactic. And I love the idea of this club because we're trying to get kids to, be you, like Calista's shirt says, and understand it and try and find an identity so they can make better choices. So you're really starting from inside the student in the child as opposed to just trying to scare them. So that's why we really want to get this club off the ground.
Absolutely. And we see it, after, the emails we get after Chris speaking, and, it's the life stuff that kids struggle with that ultimately lead them to turn to risky behaviors. It's the stress, it's, peer pressure, it's it could be problems at home. I mean, there's so many different things that kids face nowadays that I would not want to be a kid growing up right now. It's tough.
No, it's tough. And Calista also is an artist of sorts. And she made us a Herren Project painting. And so that's how Calista was one of the reasons that she takes, helps with her stress, for example, is her artwork. So we talk about that stuff in the club, and, meditation too. Brittany's been big on sending out stuff about meditation and taking time for yourself. So no, we're excited to build this for sure.
And you guys are off to a great start. I mean, considering, what we've all gone through in a pandemic year, to have a solid group like that. And I know, you were saying it's, 5th, 6th, and 7th graders, and you have, as we were joking around, you have a great farm system.
Absolutely. We have a great young core, and we're gonna build and get stronger every year. So I just can't wait for next year when we're in person. We can actually meet, talk.
I'm really excited to do all the activities that we got in the box.
Yeah.
Do those in person. Those will be great. Nice.
Did you guys apply for the grant?
No,
we did not.
I think it still might be still open.
Oops.
Okay, well, we gotta look. We gotta check.
We'll get on that.
Text Jillian and tell her I said it's maybe okay for you guys to apply late.
All right. Well, we didn't know. Definitely, we're gonna get on that tomorrow, Brittany.
Yeah.
Calista, what do you want to be when you grow up?
I'm not really sure at this point. I'm thinking maybe something towards art.
Nice. And that's
nice.
More than okay that you don't know. I still don't know what I want to be when I'm grown up. So I want to thank you guys. Calista, you are an absolute rock star. I hope and pray my daughter is as
thank you.
Committed as you are at her age. She's not too far behind you. But thank you so much for all you're doing. And Mike and Brittany, thank you for having the desire to really pour into kids' lives and teach them that it's okay to be themselves.
Yeah, thanks for having us, Kevin.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Enjoy the rest of your night.
Thank you.
You
Bye.
Bye.
All right, next. Oh, there you are, Brett. I've got to take you out. I put William in already. I'm hosting and producing all at once. So our next guest is William Morrissey, also known as Big Cass. He is a professional wrestler, also a gentleman in recovery. So we are excited for him. And I know he also hosted a little fundraiser for us. So I want to personally thank you for that. We are very grateful. So
thank you.
I want to kind of ask you if you could kind of maybe go back a little bit and kind of talk about, the struggle you were facing with your addiction and kind of what ultimately led you to seek help.
I was on the road a lot with wrestling and I was drinking a ton, and I just thought it was part of the culture, and I just thought it was normal. And but I started to realize that, when other people would have 2 drinks, or they would pick a certain night to not drink, I was drinking every single night, and I was drinking heavily every single night. And I used to put limits on myself, and I wouldn't drink before the day before TV. And then I was drinking the night before TV, and then I would be drinking, the morning of television. And every rule I set for myself, I kind of just, I broke. And after I was released by WWE in 2018, I had an apartment, I had money in the bank, and I had no responsibilities. And I was drinking every day from sun up to sundown, to the point where I started having seizures from withdrawal. When I couldn't get enough alcohol in my system, what my body needed. And, even after having seizures, I still had some doubts, and I thought, you could do this on your own. You're a big guy. You're strong. You're tough. You could do this all on your own. And it just came to a point eventually where everything I tried and using all my power, nothing was working. And I realized that, it was going to be either death or jail, or I was going to have to, work the 12 steps and work a program. And there was no other option there. And for so long, I thought that there was that option C, and there is no option C. So I had to come to that realization.
So what did getting help look like? Did you go to treatment? Did you?
So I reached out and I went to treatment for 30 days. I did that the first time kind of just to appease people that thought that I needed to go to treatment. And I did it for a lot of the wrong reasons, kind of just making other people happy and not making myself happy. Lo and behold, after that 30 days was up, I relapsed immediately. And so I went on a bit of a few months in my active addiction right after getting out of rehab, until I finally surrendered and went back for me to get happy and for me to get sober, for me to stay alive. And it wasn't about everyone else anymore. So yeah, I went to treatment twice, and the second time I was there was for 60 days. And that was the time that kind of, that's where it stuck for me.
It's, I can totally relate to, you kind of set these self-imposed kind of guardrails, right? I'm only going to drink today. For me, it was, I'm only going to drink today. I'm not going to do any drugs. And then, you always kind of like walk through and you keep moving the goalpost forward. And, no matter how much you try to manage it and how much you try to, change it, it gets you in the end.
Yeah. And I just kept setting new limitations and upping the ante. And, looking back, I'm just so baffled by some of the things I was doing and drinking, before I went on television. And it's just so mind-boggling to me now, looking back, that I thought I was in a right state of mind doing things like that. But yeah, I kept moving the goalposts, like you said, and they just kept on moving until, it came to a point where I realized that I'm going to end up, dead. And it got real serious at that point.
What's it like getting body slammed while you're drunk?
Oh man, it actually hurts a lot less, to be honest with you. But yeah, it hurts a lot less and takes away the nerves. But it's such a slippery slope to go down. And one is too much, and a million is not enough, or whatever the saying is. I just kept drinking more and more and more, and it became a 24-hour day job just to not have seizures at a certain point. The withdrawals were so bad. I was just drinking all day. I wasn't even enjoying it anymore. It was just to not have a seizure. And I lived like that for quite a while.
Yeah. Is there, was it just alcohol? Was there painkillers or anything? Because I would imagine with wrestling and the amount of physical taxation that your body gets put under, that, painkillers must, was that part of your story?
No, drugs was never a part of my story. Fortunately for me, I worked for WWE, and they have a wellness policy that's very strict. So they test for everything and anything. And I even was, before I realized I had any problem, I was prescribed painkillers at a certain point for an ACL injury. And I knew that you can't mix alcohol and painkillers. That's a recipe for disaster. So I thought I was being smart. So I said, well, I won't do the painkillers and I'll just drink extra. So I threw the painkillers out. So I never went down that road. If there was a time I was gonna, it would have been then, but I just thought I can't mix the two. But now I have an excuse to drink double or triple what I was drinking to take away the pain.
How did you get into wrestling?
So I was a fan my whole life growing up, going to shows at Madison Square Garden and making trips to go to shows all around the country. And I always wanted to be a wrestler. I always thought I could do it. And when I was in college, I was studying for the MCAT because I was pre-med. I went to NYU and I was studying for the MCAT. And I just realized, man, this isn't my passion. I'm not very passionate about medicine or science like I thought I was. And I wanted to pursue what I was really passionate about, and that was wrestling. So once I graduated college, I started wrestling at a school in Brooklyn, and I eventually ended up getting signed by WWE.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Who was your favorite wrestler growing up?
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
See, that date, because I'm like Iron Sheik days, Hulk Hogan.
Oh, wow. Yeah, Hogan. I grew up when I was very young. Hogan was the man. But yeah, Iron Sheik, Hogan. They had a really epic match in Madison Square Garden. I forget what year that was, but a long time ago. But
that's when Hogan escaped the camel clutch.
Yeah, and he won the title in that match, I believe.
Yeah. I remember the original WrestleMania. I still remember it to this day. Like we're actually sitting in a bar with our parents watching it because that's the only way you could get it back then was. But those were some great memories. My all-time favorite, though, I got to admit, is George the Animal Steele.
Yeah, he's great. The late great George the Animal Steele. Yeah, he was amazing. Yeah, never got a chance to meet him. I wish I could have.
What's your recovery look like now? How are you making out with recovery during the pandemic? Has been challenging?
So during the pandemic, I was on, Zoom a lot, Zoom meetings. And fortunately for me in Tampa, I guess they were lifting restrictions a lot faster than they were around the country and other places. So in-person meetings were doable. And so with the pandemic, it did for a month or two, like really affect my ability to go to meetings. But once they started opening back up, almost every meeting around here is open again. I could go and go to meetings in person. So I did the Zoom thing for 1 or 2 months, but it didn't really last that long. And I'm very fortunate that I live in Florida where where I was able to go to in-person meetings.
Yeah, it's I live up in Massachusetts and they're starting to open back up now, but it's pretty much been Zoom for a whole year.
Yeah. And, nothing against Zoom. I've gotten a lot of the Zoom meetings. I just think for me, in-person meetings are a lot better. You could feel people's emotion when you're in the same room as them, and you can feel what they were feeling at the time whenever they, tell their story or when they share. So yeah, I prefer in-person meetings for sure.
They're starting to open up back up here, so I can't wait to start.
Yeah.
You mean that like being able to hug someone, you know what I mean? Even just seeing that new person walk through the door and raise their hand and say, I'm struggling, and, watch how the community wraps around them. You just don't get that with the Zoom meetings, and that's what I miss.
Yeah. The biggest reaction or the biggest applause that anyone gets in meetings here, and I'm sure everywhere else, is when they go up to get a white chip. And yeah, in those in-person meetings, I mean, it's a huge reaction whenever people go up for the white chips. And on Zoom, like you said, you're not able to do the same thing.
Yeah. What are you thinking about for the future? Do you have any plans?
So I went back to wrestling recently, and I'm working independent shows and kind of just building up my body of work and my brand again. And, I am trying to show, the major promotions out there that I'm reliable, that I am sober, that I am taking this seriously, that I'm not living the same lifestyle that I was beforehand. And I understand that takes a certain amount of time over the course of months or even years to gain people's trust. But right now I'm kind of just building my brand back up and wrestling, because I love wrestling. I'm very passionate about it, and working as many shows as possible. And I don't know what the future holds. And, hopefully one day down the line, one of the bigger promotions in the North America will reach out, but it's yet to be seen. And I'm really enjoying what I'm doing right now.
Yeah. I think we both know the beauty of recovery is, if you keep your recovery in the number one slot and you do the next right thing, and, somehow, and I tell this to people every day, somehow it all works out.
Yeah, it's true. And I always have to remember that recovery comes first, because everything you put before your recovery, you're going to lose, and you're going to lose your recovery. At least that's what I was told by my sponsor. And I believe that to be true. So I have to make sure, recovery comes first, wrestling comes second. Any other endeavor that I pursue has to come third or fourth. Nothing can top the number one spot, which is always going to be recovery. And that's going to be for the rest of my life. And I understand that. And I'm very, very fine with that, because I actually enjoy recovery very much.
It's the greatest gift ever.
Yeah, it's fun, and it's working with new people, or really the best part about it is helping others. Like, that is the best part for me about recovery, is even if it's something very small, or just a little piece of, my story that can help somebody in a tough time. Like, helping others it's the best part of recovery.
It says it right in the big book. There's no better way to guarantee us. I'm paraphrasing, but no better way to guarantee your recovery than working with someone else.
That's exactly. Yeah. So I try my best always to work with others. And you know what? That kind of transcended out of just recovery for me now. And I really get a lot of enjoyment out of just helping people in general in life. It could even be something as small as saying hello to somebody at the grocery store. You don't know what that person's going through. You don't know what their day's like. And just saying hi to them could maybe just lift their spirits for the day. And that could change their whole day. So I don't know. I learned that in recovery, and then I took it into everyday life to kind of just be nice to people, be a good human being, and help others. If someone needs you to help lift groceries or something, help them out, instead of, admittedly doing what I used to do. And that, was tunnel vision. Everything was about me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you said that, it kind of, my second sponsor always told me, you might be the only big book that someone ever reads. And he meant that by the way you act in public, the way that you're of service to others, the way that you stick your hand out, and, you might be the only big book someone ever reads.
Yeah, I have never heard that quote, but I'm writing that down once we're done here. That's really good.
It's pretty much all we do anyways. We're all regurgitating stuff that was taught to us. That's the kind of the beauty of this thing.
Yeah. Yeah. And I find the principles of recovery, just applying them to everything in life has really helped me out. It's amazing how much just opening that book changed my life, because I will tell you that I did not want to, there's that quote about contempt, pride, or investigation in the appendix 2, I think it is. That was me. Just, I would not open the book at first. I was so stubborn. And the second I started reading that book is when everything changed. So, yeah. And then I just like to apply it in every aspect of life.
Yeah. I mean, it's not just a program for, stopping drinking. It's a program for life.
To live a good, fulfilling life. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's kind of changed my outlook on a lot of things, man. Just simple things like waking up in the morning and have my coffee out on the balcony and just listening to the peace and quiet in the morning. And I just have a very blessed life. And there's a lot of things that I took for granted earlier in my life. And just, I have to remember to have gratitude, because little things like a coffee in the morning, those aren't guaranteed. Those things aren't guaranteed. And I have to just make sure I have those pieces of gratitude throughout every day.
If there was someone struggling, listen, what would be the best advice you could give them?
To seek help would be first. And second would be to try to be open-minded to the fact that maybe you don't know everything. Maybe you don't have the answers. Maybe it's not within your power and somebody else might have the answers. If you can be open-minded to the fact that maybe you don't know everything, and this is to someone, a newcomer or someone that's looking to get into recovery, just please be open-minded. You don't know everything, and maybe some other people do. that would be my biggest piece of advice. That's something I wish I could have told myself.
Yeah. And, that's kind of what we do at Herren Project. We walk with people on their journey to recovery, and, the money you donated to us goes towards that. And, that's when someone reaches out for help, that's kind of we'll do it, whatever we can to help them and, walk with them on this path to recovery, because it's worth it and it's a beautiful life.
Yeah. And the Herren Project does so many great things. I mean, I can't tell you how many people I encountered in recovery that, they couldn't afford another month of sober living, whether insurance couldn't provide for it or they didn't have the money. And that extra month in sober living could be the 30 days where something clicks. And I hated to see people have to leave early because of something like that before the magic happened. And the Herren Project, gives scholarships for sober living, for rehabilitation, and it's just so many things that you do were things that I would have, if I could have, started my own charity. The Herren Project does them all, so it's amazing what you guys do.
I have a sneaking suspicion that you will be walking down that path very soon.
I don't know about that. I definitely, like I said, want to help people, but it's not something I'd like to do, in the future is, help other people, whether it's like everything you guys do. It's incredible. So, not in the near future, maybe somewhere down the line.
It's a lot of work. I ain't gonna.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I can only imagine. Yeah. So that's definitely not in the cards for me anytime very soon. So somewhere down in the future, but working with you guys is incredible, and everything you guys do. So I'm just going to continue to support the cause, and I'm selling plenty of t-shirts on weekends now at shows, and all proceeds are going to the Herren Project. So hopefully I keep on selling some t-shirts, man.
Awesome. Can you get t-shirts online?
Yes, you can. So they're at collarandelbowbrand.com. The link is in my Twitter. I tweeted it out, or my Instagram. I tweeted the link out, but collarandelbowbrand.com is where you can find it. And it would be under Kaz XL. That's my wrestling name. And on the website, it says all proceeds will go to the Herren Project. So when you see that, that's the one. It just says it's straight outta step 12. Play on the straight outta Compton logo. So it was an idea of mine that I thought was pretty creative, and I kind of wanted to, put that out there.
Awesome.
Yeah.
We have some people. We'll put the website in the comments right after the show, so we have some people asking to get one. So we'll put that up there. But I want to thank you. You are an awesome dude. I really enjoyed talking to you, and we are grateful for your support and your trust in our organization, and we don't take that lightly. So we will do our best with your support and continue to help, one person, one family at a time.
I really appreciate that. You guys are rocking, man. Just doing everything. It's just amazing. But I appreciate you having me on, man.
Awesome. And I go down to Florida. We help a lot of people in Florida.
I was told that, yeah.
So
I'm in Tampa. So if you're ever around Tampa, let me know.
I want to go back to Busch Gardens.
Busch Gardens is awesome. I was there like a month ago. It's awesome there.
I'm a roller coaster junkie, so
yeah, and they got real good roller coasters there. Fast. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your night.
You too. Thank you for having me on.
All right, brother.
All right.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much. That was a great show, and we will see you next week, same time, same channel. And enjoy the rest of your night. Be safe. God bless.